Hi everybody, this is Barbara Phelps, and I'm going to show you how to make a weft out of mohair and apply it to this polymer clay doll. What we're going to need is some mohair and some glue. Fast grab, I use fast grab tacky glue, a little piece of aluminum foil, some paper towels and baby wipes and water, and some scissors. Okay, wefting, you can buy wefted mohair, which looks like this. See if you can see that in the thing, which is a little bit too heavy of a weft for the scale that I'm doing. So I'm going to make my own wefted mohair using glue. And the way that I do that is it's very simple. You just put a line of glue. Be kind of generous with the glue if you can get it to come out. And just smear it out into an even strip of glue. That's what we need the baby wipe for. Just get that off. And then you just take some mohair that you've cut, a little section, and just kind of make it a single layer and just lay it right on top of the glue. And just press it in real good. And you want to push it, hold it with this hand, hold the loose mohair while you push down with the other hand. And you can use a tool or something to help this along. And just make sure that you get all those hairs into that glue. And sometimes it helps to wet your finger a little bit with some water. And again, hold those loose hairs down and then just press down on that glue. And what you're trying to do is get a good line with that glue. And we're not too worried about all this mess we're making here because we're going to just cut that off later. Okay, and you can use a needle tool as well if you want to just kind of spread those out. You want to make sure that they're even and that there's a line with the glue. Okay, and now I've got some loose mohair here. Okay, and then you just let's get that up there so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, and we're going to let that dry to the touch, but not completely dry. You don't want it completely dry because then it gets hard to pull off of the foil, but you want it to be dry enough that it stays together. And then you're going to pull it off, and it's going to look like this. It's kind of a mess right now. But we're just going to so it'll take a little bit for this to dry, so I'm going to put this over to the side. And then we just take and cut this as close to that line as we can get it. And this line was not too straight. Now it's not permanently hooked together, but it's hooked together long enough for us to get it onto the head. So, and then you can just throw this part away. Now I have a bunch of these already done. I have one more to cut out. So this is really dry now. You just pull it off the foil and then lay it upside down. This would be the wet part. I just pull it off the foil like this, and then I lay it on and let it dry. Come back when it's fully dry, and then cut as close as you can to that glue line, the edge of that glue line. Okay. So there's all my pieces. Hopefully that's enough to do the head. And here's the doll. Now, as you can see, she has a funny little channel in her hair. This is where the part's going to be. And I'm going to make the part go all the way to the back and put her little ponytails, little pigtails on either side. Okay. Let's try to zoom this in a little bit. bring some of these pieces over. And you want to check and make sure if you have any glue showing or not. There's a little bit of glue right here. So I'm just going to cut that down a little. That looks a little better. Then we're going to start at the back of the head. And we're going to glue these right along the hairline. So I just apply a little bit of glue. Get your baby wipe handy. Okay, and smooth out. And then you just lay down it's a little hard to do at this angle. Glue doesn't want to come out. I'm not going to worry about all this hair in front of her face. We'll take care of that later. The glue gets all over your fingers and you have to wipe it off. It makes a mess. And having a little trouble getting my fingers in there, so I just get a tool. Bring some more hair over. Helps to store your glue upside down so the glue runs down to the tip. So I want to make sure to bring this all the way down so that the part's behind it. And we'll concentrate on one side and just come a little bit above that last line. Smooth out the glue. And if you get one too long, then you can just snip it right off. I want to stay on the one side. Oops, some glue on my finger. Gets everywhere, especially when you do this. And I don't want to put it all over because it'll dry before I can get the glue on there, so I just do a little strip at a time. Now, since I'm going to pull this up into a pigtail, I want to put some going this way so that when I pull it up, the seam won't show. But I don't want to go all the way in that groove yet. That'll be the last thing, the last ones that I do. I'm going to lay these this way. And it looks like a mess right now, but I think it'll look cute once we get it all done. And I like this glue because it dries quickly, but not too quickly. I used to use the Fabri-Tac, and it was really messy, and it really dried too quick. That for me, anyway. And so you can just pull them apart and make smaller sections. Alright, now there's 1/2 of the head done, and I'm going to go off camera, let this dry, and do the other side, and then I'll come back and show you how to do the middle of the part. Let's see, when we get all done, we will bring this up and make a little pigtail on that side, pigtail on that side, but we need to let it dry really good before we start messing with it. And you do the other side in the same way I just did this side. And just make sure that all your pieces are stuck down. And add any additional glue that you need. Okay, and I will be back. She's a mess right now, but she will look cute when she gets done. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, we're back. I've got it on both sides now, and so we just need to put it down in this little channel. And so we wait till it's a little bit dry so we don't mess it all up. But best we can, we put glue down into the little channel. Good portion. Put that underneath her so she didn't get scratched up. Okay, I'm just going to get it down into the channel. And wipe off the little tool. Then we just poke it down into the channel. It helps if you wet your tool. It helps it not to stick. So we're going to put 2 of them in the channel, 1 for each side. I've got some glue on some hair, so I'm just going to cut that out of there. And this might be easier without all the other. I should have done that first. I'm going to cut this. There's a lot of glue there. I'm just going to cut it down farther, closer to the edge. Wet the tool. I'm just laying the tool in that groove to push the hair down into all that glue. And the little groove helps to hide that glue and make a nice little part. I got a little thin spot right there, so I'm just going to put another little strip in there. A little piece of a strip. And see, I don't have glue or water on my tool, so it grabs. So and we have to let that dry really good before we start messing with it and styling it. So I'm going to pause it again. And then we'll come back and style it. Okay. She's in there somewhere. Hello. I can't see. I need a haircut. Okay, so we'll let her sit and dry. And then we'll come back and try to style it. Okay, we're back. The glue has dried overnight. I see that I have a little bit of messed up spot there. I'll take that off and glue some more because the glue is showing there. I have done one side. Just kind of put it up in a little messy bun. And it's parted down the middle there. And I'll show you how I did that. I just grab it and make a little ponytail. And I use this little rubber band that I got from the Dollar General to hold it. And so I'll just make a little ponytail. It's hard to do at this angle. And you could just leave the ponytails if you wanted, or make a braid or whatever. And then, like I said, I'll redo the bangs. I did cut off some bangs there, but you can see the glue here, so I'll fix that to hide that glue. I'll either glue some more on top of it, or I may just pull that out and put that back on. In my haste to get the video done, I made a mess. So, and then after we make ponytail, to make the little bun here, what I did was I just tightened up the ponytail a little bit, and then I twisted, and then I just kind of twisted it around. So it's hard to do at an angle so you can see in the camera. I just twist it around in a little messy bun, and then I secure it with, I got some thread in the same color as the hair, and I put a knot in the end. And then I just sew back and forth and grab that knot to secure it. And the thread is kind of hidden underneath the hair. So I just go back. It's really hard to get this neat when you're trying to film. So I'm just going back and forth and catching that hair to help hold that bun. I'm going down all the way to the head. And this is by no means neat as I would do it if I wasn't trying to film it at the same time. I would be much more careful. And then once you go through a few times, just tie it off in the back. And just make a knot, and I'll pull the thread through do it much neater if I had more time. And like I said, I'll fix this area. But there we have it. She has hair.
Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please join me on my website, bjfgallery.com.